Hello everybody, welcome back to Dominions 5. We're continuing this look at our very late game war against Vanarus in the BumbleRumble game. I moved on to turn 125, and now we get revenge. Well, so they're trying to. So yes, that's the other thing that I didn't. Well, I should have been talking about more. So let's talk about this. So this is probably Atlantis trying to scry this province. But we've got a Dome of Air. Of course we do. Here is where I've been staging. I've been building up a ton of troops in this province. Of course I put a Dome of Solid Air up. So maybe Vanarus tried to throw some ritual at it. Didn't land. Okay. Infernal Disease. We kill a Sage. Infernal Disease, we kill another Sage. Infernal Disease, we do not succeed in killing one of his little thugs. Aha. Binafi. So, this is interesting. So, last turn I was moving. I had already. Okay. He chooses to nuke this army. So, this was he nuked the army that was here, is now the army that is here. So this army just went through Flames from the Sky. Now, what I have done on this army is, I have on a few, key, more important units, I have given them my body armor of the 5 elements. This gives 5 fire resist and boosts the protection up to 13, which gives you a reasonable chance to survive Flames from the Sky. So, hopefully the more important mages don't just get completely melted. But you can see, unfortunately, some of the commanders got nuked, and so all these troops are sort of stranded here. But he nuked this stack, which means that this army is somewhat diminished. And if we look at the report here, 144 were hit, so I must have had like 300 units in the province. And of the ones hit, 72 died. So, I was saying earlier how humans, they just all died to Flames from the Sky, which is kind of true, except that army was very high quality troops. That was my Sacreds. And they have high protection and a decent amount of hit points. Are we in the spring? No, we're in the summer. So it's late summer, so actually they don't have a ton of hit points. But these are pretty beefy human troops, and TNG has pretty good human troops in general. So it's maybe not too surprising that maybe a quarter of the total units in that army died. But I lost like an Adept of the Silver Order, which is an expensive, slow to recruit mage. So, that hurt for sure. Okay, Manifestation. We do not kill a Troll King. We do kill a Sage. We kill another Sage. We kill another Sage. Report from Fairy Forest. Another spell gets aimed here. I don't know why 2 spells would have been aimed there, but whatever. I don't know why. Oh, Seeking Arrow. There's an artifact that allows you to do a free Seeking Arrow every turn. I'm not wasting air gems on that. Okay, let's look at the battles. The Tart chases down the last mages that tried to kill him last turn. We won't watch it. We're going to get through a lot of stuff. Okay, he is now starting to raid me with his vampires. This fellow this is the same guy we met last turn, so nothing too interesting here. My birds just splat on a bit of PD, as expected. Here... let's see, let me take a look at where this is. This is Melma. So I controlled this. So he attacked into me here. Now, he would not necessarily have known. I had this big army over here. So he had to guess. Like, he didn't know what was going to happen over here. Maybe he thought he was going to fight the Tart. Or some PD. So let's look at what he brought. So he brings Heliophagus, 4 blood, kitted out with a firebrand, This is interesting because this would not have done so well, I think, against my Tart, maybe. So unfortunately, he runs into like a full army with like a massive communion and a ton of sacreds. Now, I was not expecting to fight this. Yeah. So that... Did I just like enslave? Yeah, okay, so we just actually enslave him. I don't remember this at all. I don't think this is what happened in the actual battle. This is not what actually happened, but that is a hilarious outcome nonetheless. What actually does happen here? Let's see. We just defeat him. I guess he runs away. And we burn, and he burns out our communion, is what happens. Because this was not properly balanced, I wasn't expecting an actual fight. And so I think what actually happens is he just burns out our communion before he runs away. So that was not as hilarious as what we saw there. He dumped a ton of PD in this province. But PD doesn't do well against, very high quality chassis like that. This guy brings heat from hell wherever he goes. And now he's got Phoenix Pyre. Now, barbs you would think are scary because they do a ton of damage. But we have 25 prot against mundane attacks. And so we have enough of a HP buffer that with damage reversal, in addition to just Soul Vortex, these guys... Oh yeah, and he's casting... by the way, he was casting Firestorm, so just everything melts. Just fire evocations for days. Okay, that was here. We are moving on to some fort, whatever. And this is stuff that we're not going. You guys can watch all this stuff on Lucid's channel. That war going on between Shinu and him. We've seen this last turn. There's nothing too special in terms of gear there. I kill the Clockwork Horrors. This is just little raids back and forth, and that's it. Okay, let's move on. So that was turn 125. What are our plans? So we finally cracked this fort. We're gonna storm the fort with a limited amount of dudes and move on to the next one. That's been our pattern. We have finally won the war of tiny little raids back and forth here, so we now control all of these provinces. The only province we don't have under lockdown is this one, so we're going to hopefully get that taken care of with this Tart, who's taking his slow time coming all the way up from down south. We got a Tart sitting on here. We got a Tart here. He built a lab here, so I am not complaining. So we were able to restock on gems, and we're just going to move on north and do the same thing we did here to all these corpse constructs. So here's his... I think we're going to target this with Mind Hunt, if I remember correctly. Let's look at what's going on here. We're going to have, I think, a bunch of this army. Nope. This army is going to reinforce over here. This Tart is going to come on here. Now, if he brings his mega army here, this Tart might not survive, but he's got Phoenix Spire. He'll be annoying for quite a while. But we're delaying this major army and giving us time to take over this fort. Meanwhile, the walls here have been breached, and so we are ready to try to storm and take the fort. We're spamming like remote assassinations and stuff like that every turn. But here's basically our script. We are just doing mass read. We're doing all the buffs. But this is a very fragile attack because, look, we've got, this guy's casting Wailing Winds, right? This is a kind of shoestring budget. We've got just enough dudes, right? We're going to do, we're going to give a bit of effort, right? We're going to do Will of the Fates. We're going to do Gaia's Blessing. We'll do Fog Warriors, I guess. Mass Flight. Sure, we'll do Army of Fled. But if any of these guys die to anything, this communion falls apart. This is the minimal communion needed to get all these buffs out. Very fragile. But, hey, we're going to give it a shot. We got to keep the pressure. We got to keep making him spend a ton of gems, putting together Herculean efforts to save this while we throw empty chaff at it. So let's see what happens. This is turn 125. Turn 126. All right. I guess apparently we were trading stuff. I guess I was making stuff for him. Okay. Infernal Disease kills the mages. Killed another one. Okay. This is the province this is the fort that we stormed. By the way, we haven't stormed it yet, so obviously we failed. Sorry for the spoilers. But that's okay. He fires from the sky, us, which is what we've been expecting all along. So they kill probably all of our mages, all of our little not shitty, they're actually amazing mages, but they're little humans, and so of course they die. So he kills a bit more than half of all the units that were there. 166 were hit. A lot of the units were wolves and spiders, so this is not like a big loss, but it does kill most of the mages that were there. So probably when we storm, anyways, it'll be pretty embarrassing. Right, so that happens. Mind Hunt, but he resisted. Resisted Vengeance from the Dead. We kill another sage. They're trying to do something to this province, but it's not working. Oh, he actually does 2 fires from the sky on Zox. So he totally decimates that army that was sieging the throne. Okay. We kill a Chadyarl. We do not kill an Archdevil. Not surprising. We kill another sage. And we kill another sage. Mind Hunt. They resist. This demon somehow fails to kill a sage. Okay. This battle is just a tart killing PD. Good for you. Okay. He has somehow gotten a hold of some star children. I guess he must have charmed them from Relay when he was attacking. So let me just see where this was taking place. This was taking place in here. I think I've stormed this fort though this turn, so we'll see that momentarily. Okay, this is pretty. I think he messes up somehow the script here. Anyways, this is his vampire. The vampire maybe shouldn't be here. I think I sent these guys just to retake the province. Expecting he would just have PD in it. I don't think I was expecting to find the vampire. Oh, no, I did. Well, I magic phase these guys in. I cloud trapeze them in with air elementals. That's what I did. But he didn't do stealth on him. On his guy. So he gets caught by this magic phase. And air elementals are pretty good. So they kill this vampire. But we get his gear. So definitely worth it. Okay, then we are taking the province. Good for us. Okay, here unfortunately we were. Let me show you this. So we had moved on to this big fort of his, and we have 2 dudes. We've got a guy here who's going to do fire magic, and we've got a kind of super combatant chassis. He's got a couple of artifacts, actually. He's got Dawn Fang, he's got Krupp's Bracer, which give reinvigoration and protection and defense. This guy is fire, air, nature, which is interesting. This is pretty good. He can do regen, he can do Phoenix Pyre, he can do Mist Form. And he can magic phase, importantly, is what the air gives him access to. Now, what we're up against is a huge pile of chaff, a few mages, a lot of, a lot of stuff. So, the air guys kind of jump on this guy before he has a chance really to get even Phoenix Pyre off. So I did not really see these guys. Like, I was not expecting these flyers. So that's very unfortunate. So we just lose that guy. However, this fellow has 180 hit points. He's much tougher. Now, he hasn't finished buffing yet. Obviously, he got regen off, which is excellent news. And so, but now he wants to run away. But he can't run away. He did get Phoenix Pyre off, though, so not going to be that easy. Now, again, this replay might not actually be how it happened the first time because of because it's the new version since then. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to kill super combatant. Oh, he's got this dude, which is pretty cool. Yeah, just got like a unique weapon there. Yeah, Phoenix Pyre on super combatants is pretty nasty. He's trying to run away. Just let him go. Let him leave. Now, I don't know if this guy actually dies in a retreat. He hasn't gotten really any afflictions yet, despite the number of times that he's died, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so in this version, he just dies and fatigues out. But in the actual replay, what happens is we kill some of the chaff, basically. So not really worth it because we lost the goat son. We're going to have to try to get him back. The Tartarian, what happens? Excuse me. Yeah, and we lose a Tartarian too with 2 artifacts retreating. So that was pretty awful. Okay, losses there. Okay, another vampire. I'm just clicking to see what kind of gear he's got. Yeah. Here's a vampire thug. So he's got regen and berserk axe and stuff. Good for you. Okay, more rating. He had a bunch of PD here, but, you know, even heavy cav PD, like, this is like a lot of PD. Holy shit. That is expensive in PD. This guy is what? Water Death? Yeah, pretty good cross paths. Pretty good paths, not cross paths, just paths. Oh, he gets invulnerability off just at the right time. He's already gotten liquid body. I don't know if he got defense off, but yeah, these knights are... Sorry. Oh, and he's ethereal too because he got fluffed. Yeah, these guys have no chance. Like, this is 1,000 gold in PD or something. Not gonna matter. Okay. Yes. This is the conclusion. Remember, this is the province where we had that first very successful battle outside the fort with our garbage army versus his mages. Now we're storming the fort, and he has, you know, flown in a bunch of, or summoned, actually is probably what happened. He summoned a bunch of draconians with his air mages here. Yeah, that's what happened. So he burnt a ton of air gems here, summoning these guys. He has some blood slaves. I mean, he, unfortunately for him, doesn't have many units. That's why he had to summon these guys. And because he had to summon them, he couldn't script them. So they're just going to go attack and do whatever. And he's doing a bunch of swarm casting. So he's doing everything he can. Now, these guys land, like, right in my mages. But fortunately, they kind of just, like, don't kill all my mages. Thunder strikes are happening. That does kill a lot of my mages. But I think we get a lot of our key buffs off. Maybe not. I don't know. Honestly, looking at this version, it's not quite clear how we won this. So, okay. Obviously, that's not what happened. We clearly won. We, you know, lost some foul spawn, but we had a ton. Obviously, it turned out differently, right? Which just goes to show how maybe things are more, you know, things might not be as one-sided as it seemed. I seem pretty confident, although honestly, these draconians are pretty nasty, and you know, if the right attack rear happens, it might have been unfortunate. But yeah, this worked, guys. Don't trust what you just saw. Very effective little cheap army. Even if this had failed, this cost nothing to put together. This is like 60 gold mages. Who cares? Yes, so success. Here we're taking another province, sure. Oh, right. So this is the throne. Okay, so he double flames from the sky at us, so we have no communion left. I mean, I don't even want to watch this. Is going to be. We won't really watch it because whatever actually happened will be different because of the different versions from the replay. But this was not the army that I sent, right? It got completely flames from the sky. Now, we do have a couple of Tartarians here. We've got a bit of Foulspawn, but none of the mages that survive can even cast the spells that they had been scripted to cast because there's no communion left. Meanwhile, over here, he's brought in like everything he could. So he's got a Lich, he's got Air Astrals, Summons, he's got Devils back here, a big army that's been here forever because it was Glamored apparently. He's got a Djinn, he's got some Demon Knights, this is a Fairy Queen, a Cat Mage doing, I guess, Foul Vapors, another Lich here. Anyway, so this is a serious army, and of course we don't do crap to this. So we lose. Now we lose these mages, a few items. This isn't actually like we lost a lot more to the flames from the sky. The Tartarians live, so this is actually not a terrible loss. And that is that. So this isn't such a terrible loss, and in fact, we have continued to reinforce with a pile of more stuff, right? So the supply of communion slaves and siege chaff is kind of endless. So last turn, he spent 60 fire gems doing 2 flames from the sky here. And it wiped out the army and made my storming ineffective, right? But this time... But in the meantime, I move more troops onto it, so now he's still stuck in there, and there's still a huge army outside with a fresh communion. The tarts, he didn't manage to kill the tarts. Now, next door, there's a massive, massive human army. Now, this is kind of like this is a very tempting target, to flames from the sky this. But if he flames from the skies this, then he's not doing anything to protect his throne. And I've also here successfully raided all the way around, so reinforcing this is now getting really, really tricky. We're going to take this province back with some tarts. We're going to, I think... Oh, we've lost... Oh, yeah, every time we split up, we don't quite have enough to one turn cap it. But now all of this is on lockdown, so it's just a matter of time until we capture all of these forts. Over here, this is under control. And we're trying to gradually push north as we kind of backfill and try to conquer this over here. And let's wrap up the episode right here, and we'll continue going through this war and giving you a taste of the very, very late game. So see you guys shortly. Take care.